My name is Chris McVeigh, and I'm a senior designer at the LEGO Group. I've been working on the latest modular building, the 19th in the series, which is a natural history museum. The building is olive green with a base that is sand yellow. This building is the second in the series to have a 48 brick wide base, following up Assembly Square. The Natural History Museum has two main floors. On the first floor, as you walk in, you'll see the gift shop. We also have paleontology, geology, and some replica pottery. So over in the paleontology section, we have a lot of really fun, cool stuff. The first is a very small but interestingly detailed saber-toothed tiger skull. Next to that, we have a fossil. We also have some fossilized dinosaur eggs and something called coprolite, which I will let you look up. But the centerpiece of the paleontology section is the brick-built brachiosaurus. That's a bit of a tongue twister, brick-built brachiosaurus. Brick-built brachiosaurus. Very early on, we decided that we wanted to have a brachiosaurus in the model. And the decision was made basically because we wanted a dinosaur that was very tall, whose neck extends up through the atrium, and whose tail could wrap around on the inside, allowing us to have that vertical height without being too wide to fit in the model. Continuing on over to the left, we have a replica pottery section where the artist from the Parisian restaurant has graciously donated some replica pottery builds. Moving on up to the geology section, we have a couple of geology basics. We have quartz, a geode, and we have a stalagmite. And right nearby, we have a miniature volcano. And on the wall behind that, we have a poster of the Earth's core, showing the layers down to the core from the mantle. Also on the first floor, behind the gift shop, you will find a panel that can be removed. And when you remove this, you will find two other rooms. We have a lab where they're studying dinosaur bones and other details, of course. And we also have the all-important toilet. Now on the second floor, we have a different selection of exhibits. The primary one on the second floor is the space exhibit. On the back wall, we have a large brick-built map of the Earth that shows a perspective trajectory of a rocket going around it. And if you look closely, you might notice that the trajectory of the rocket is familiar. Beside that, we have a small model that shows the perspective rocket that is going to go into space. And across from that, we have the orrery, which displays the solar system. Going over further to the left, we have a brick-built asteroid and a very old telescope mounted on the wall. But one of the most interesting exhibits in the space section is the tiny space diorama. And if you look closely, you'll see three familiar icons from classic space. We have a command center, a lunar buggy, and the smallest brick-built Galaxy Explorer at just 2 pieces. Moving over to the right side of the second floor, we have the minifigure history exhibit, which revisits classic times in the minifigure's past. So this includes exhibits from pirates, from castle, and from forestmen. We're really excited about these miniature models that we have showcasing different times in minifig history, and it's something that we really hope that fans will appreciate. Moving from the second floor to the roof, you will find the curator's study. And we have packed the curator's study full of interesting little tidbits from his travels around the world. You'll also see that he has 2 awards that he won for his compelling documentaries. When we decided that we were going to do a natural history museum, we knew that it would be an all-hands-on-deck kind of situation. And I had a lot of help, and it was greatly appreciated, and I think it turned out great.
Hi, my name is Ashwin and I'm a senior graphic designer at the LEGO Group. In the modular set you will rarely find stickers, so we try to print everything. So in this set you will find the museum name as a printed tile. What we also have done is include 2 foils on the side of the entrance. And these foils are showing what type of exhibitions are actually currently running into the museum. One foil says, "Go back in time," where we have this gigantic dinosaur peeking out over the treetops, and it will show you that there is a museum exhibition about dinosaurs. The second banner shows Explore the Future, where we see planets, meteorites and the cosmos, and It will show the future of the minifigures and what they will think it will be. We have a lineup of 9 minifigures in total. 7 of these minifigures are playable and 2 minifigures are forming statues that you can find at the entrance of the museum. The new minifigure designs you will get in this set is a museum curator who will get a new torso and a new face print, and the museum employees who are sharing their new museum outfit. These minifigures are standing out because they're wearing their museum badge, which gives them all-time clearance to the museum. If you are a LEGO fan, you might recognize the museum curator. We based this character on the Dr. Kilroy minifigure out of the Johnny Thunder line. We were playing with this idea of bringing this character back in one shape or form, and we thought the museum might be a cool place for him to make a reappearance in a more modern, updated design.
One of the main challenges we had with the model was to figure out a way to create a dome that was also hollowed out and could be a living space or an office for a minifigure. And so that took a bit of work and several new parts to make it happen. But now we have a dome that, in addition to having the rear side of it pull off for access, it also has a skylight right at the top so that you can see directly down into it, and it provides natural light for the curator while he's writing his memoirs. Another fun element of this set is the pediment, or the triangle roof structure that sits above the museum's front columns. I thought this was a lot of fun to design, especially the way that we have double articulation in the 2 roofs so that it just collapses down into place. After you complete the pediment, you just snap it directly onto the roof, which as a designer I found really satisfying. One of my favorite parts of the set is the cherry blossom tree, and I think it really brings a lot of color to the modular street, something that we haven't done before. To have that bright pink up there with some lovely contrast with the olive green of the building. One of the most fun things in designing these sets is getting to tell stories. And so at every opportunity, I try to bring storytelling into different sections of the building. One of the first things that we knew we wanted to do was include a dog that has stolen a dinosaur bone. And the story has a bit of a progression. It starts out that the dinosaur bone is actually, for some reason, in the waste bin at the back of the museum. And the dog takes an interest in it. And so the dog runs off with the bone. And then we have a sequence where we have one of the employees running after the dog. We have on the inside a little story about a broken piece of pottery. And there's a question about who has done this. Was it the child walking around the museum who accidentally tipped it over? Or was it the dog? That's really up for you to decide, but I like putting these breadcrumbs where people can create their own stories.